so evenly matched. It comes down to who's going to flinch first. How hard is it playing in those type of games?
It's super tough, especially in conference. Everybody's going to give you your best shot. Doesn't matter team record or anything like that. You're going to get everybody's best shot. Everybody scouted you. People on that team we played last year, so they know who we are. So it's extremely tough, but you just got to fight through, and it comes down to the toughest team and following the scouting report.
You mentioned toughness. I mean, Jordan Crawford, 8 rebounds in 15 minutes. Like, I mean, when he comes on the floor, it feels like good things happen defensively. What do you feel like he changes when he enters the game?
He's an instant impact. Like you said, 8 boards in 15 minutes. He does stuff that, the fans won't think about. You know what I'm saying? Many people think about points and flashy passes, stuff like that. But he's doing all the dirty work for us, guarding a 4-man, and then running the 4 on offense and driving and kicking, So he's been huge for us these past couple of games.
Good. All right. Thanks, guys.
Very good.
Coach. Just your opening statement on the overtime win, and then we'll field some questions.
First, it was everybody saw we wore suits today, and I don't think enough was brought to it. It was coaches versus cancer, and which is dear to my heart. My grandfather passed from cancer, but they made us sign these papers that who we were playing for today. And I was playing for a guy named Mark Bain when I was at Texas Tech. He was one of my dearest friends, and found out he had cancer when I left. And so I wanted to support him and anybody else who's struggling with the cancer battle, because that is super important to me. And I want to show that we're all about it, and we're all about, breast cancer, any type of cancer that's out there. So that's the first thing. Second thing, we had a basketball game today, and I don't know why my team makes it so hard. It's like they say, Coach, we're not going to listen to you for 20 minutes. Then another 20 minutes, we'll play really hard. We'll listen to everything you say. And so it was a hard fall game. That was the most physical team we played in the league. Way more physical than some of the other teams who I think are physical. But we fought, and we fought to the end. And I thought in a lot of different areas that we got some good things. When Bacho, when they were being physical with him down there and he couldn't score, and they were taking it away, I thought, how are we going to score? And I looked up, and it was 46-49. I was like, this is the ugliest offensive game on television on ESPN today. But what we started doing was we started moving the ball around, getting shots for like Sean. They started coming to stops. Amari started hitting shots, and we were able to turn some defense into offense and get some easy baskets, and I think that's what was the difference.
Amari had the tall task of guarding Wilkerson today, and, he kind of held his own on both ends. 16 points, but also just trying to slow down a guard like that. How did you feel about that matchup today?
I thought it was his best game this year. Both sides of the ball. Usually when he's locked in guarding, it's so hard for him to get his legs under him to score. But I think it's becoming normal. I think it's because he's building up the stamina to do it. And listen, Wilkerson is an unbelievable player. You're not going to stop him from scoring. He's too big. He's too good. He shoots the ball too well. But I thought Amari did an unbelievable job to just maintain his presence in Wilkerson's space all night. And I say that because late in the game, they kept trying to go to Hufner. And I felt like it was too hard to get something for Wilkerson late in the game. And so I was appreciative of Amari for that. And then, I just believe that shooters are going to start making shots after a while. And then we called a play for him. I could tell he was over there, and we couldn't get a roll and shake action with the help on Bacho. They were doing a good job on that, so Amari wasn't open on the backside. So we just called a play for him. He was huge and hit a big three in overtime to tie the game so we could take the lead.
Sean with a rare miss, to end regulation at the free throw line, and then he goes 6 for 6 in overtime. I was looking, I'm sure Kane probably already knew, but in the 4 overtimes that you've played with him, he scored 21 of your 51 points. Why do you feel like he, in those overtime, just even close games too, why do you feel like he's kind of the one that tends to step up in those moments?
I think a lot of reasons. One, how focused he is late in games, especially when games are close. You can kind of see his focus and how locked in he gets in those games to the point where he starts telling me who should be on the floor. And timeouts, and no, not that sub, this sub, and things of that nature. So he's really locked in, and he's so smart. He understands what they're looking for and how they've been guarding him the rest of the game. 2, he takes what the defense gives him, and we have a luxury of having a guy by the name of Daniel Bacho that demands a lot of attention. And I'll be honest, the shot that didn't go in was a 3 he took on the step back late in the shot clock, which everybody went down to guard Bacho, and he got one. I thought if that would have went in, it could have ended it a little earlier. But he's just so headsy and so smart. And if he's making free throws, getting to the hole, coming to 2-foot stops, every now and then a 3-ball goes in, he's very hard to guard. And he did that with still having 8 assists. So he's just a floor general that we've been needing and we've had.
You talked about, this being a very physical game. How big was that last 7 minutes in that overtime to say, we got to take this over now?
It was huge, and I'm going to give a lot of credit to Jordan Crawford. He comes in the game, he's a plus 15. We put him at the 4. We knew that he was going to give about 4 inches to Hufner down low, and we said, you're just going to have to fight him. And we thought he was more athletic so he could rebound with him. We didn't think that'd be a problem, but we knew fighting in the post would be an issue. But we got some help from Bacho coming over to help him a little bit sometimes. And then he was just gritty and physical and tough today. He had 8 rebounds. So I went with a small lineup. If you look at the stat sheet, we had Amari and Sean, and our bench were the only plus guys on the roster. And so I just rolled with a different lineup because at that time it was a gritty, dirty, nasty game. It was just time to find a way to win, and we were just going to find a way to win, and those are the guys I went with.
I mean, 8 straight home wins now. How do you? It's the same message, but how do you take this and bottle it up and go on the road? I mean,
I got to figure that out. We talk about toughness travels. It's the little things. The things that travel is the diving on the floor that Amari did late in the games. I wish we would have did it earlier in the games. I don't know if you heard me yelling. They got a guy on the floor, and we got 3 guys standing up. But then Amari stealing the ball at the end, just taking it out of Wilkinson's hands. Like, that stuff has to travel. The ball's not always going to go in. The special thing about tonight is it was played like a road game. It was 46-49, and it was the ugliest offensive game I'd witnessed this year. ESPN probably wanted to take us off the air halfway through. But we kept fighting and doing the little things and the gritty things to help ourselves defensively. With 4 minutes to go, I think we were down by 2 or 3, and I told the team, or maybe 2, I told the team 3 stops in a row, and we go out here and win this game. And we really focus on the last 5 minutes of games all the time. We want to win the last 5 minutes of the half and the last 5 minutes of the game. And we won the last 5 minutes of the half to tie it up, and then we won the last 5 minutes of the game, which was overtime.
Good.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.